Hello Terraria enthusiasts, my name is James, and today in celebration of the release of Breath of the Wild, I thought we could take a look at every Zelda reference hidden away in Terraria. Now if you didn't know, Terraria is actually filled with a bunch of Zelda references, and this is mainly due to the fact the Zelda franchise is so beloved, but also the creator of Terraria is such a huge fan of the games. I mean, Red and Senex even have two dogs named Zelda and Navi. Now that's some life goals right there. So let's dig deep and compile every single Zelda reference, even some of the obscure ones. So let's do this fast so I can go back to playing Breath of the Wild over on Chippy's couch. So let's begin. The first thing we're looking at today is the hero's clothes. Now this is the most obvious reference and actually one of the first few vanity outfits added into Terraria. This outfit is meant to represent the signature clothes worn by Link in almost all of the Zelda games. A fun fact about this outfit, however, is that the console versions that aren't on Nintendo consoles actually display this outfit in purple as to avoid legal trouble. Next up is the Fairy Bell. Now thankfully this fairy isn't obnoxious like Navi from Ocarina of Time and is instead quite a decent light pet. I really like that you can use this as a functioning item as well as a representation of a pretty significant character in gaming. Now this item is used as fuel for Terraria trolls, and we even discovered that it can be used to make a house in our Mage series. The ice rod can be found in multiple Zelda games and is used primarily in Terraria to make temporary blocks. The bunny hood is up next, however this one is one of the more abstract references that can be found within the game. The bunny hood is a recurring mask found in 3 Zelda titles and has a very similar look to the one found in Terraria. Now onto one of the most common items in Terraria, the magic mirror. This is used in Terraria in a very different way than the one found in A Link to the Past, but is still a cool nod to the teleportation aspect found in Zelda. I wasn't actually aware of this next one until a commenter pointed it out to me in one of my videos 2 years ago, but there is actually a pretty subtle reference to the Legend of Zelda 4 swords tucked away in Terraria. Now with the 4 swords used to craft the Knight's Edge, which was one of the strongest swords in the game at one point, you will need a blue, red, green and purple sword. These are the symbolic colours used by the 4 links in the 4 swords. Now the sprite for this next item was actually updated in Terraria 1.3.1 and I would say it makes the reference even stronger. The beam sword is one of 2 swords that are very similar to the Master Sword found in The Legend of Zelda. Now this sword is a little more obscure than the next, but it certainly points towards the Master Sword. The true Master Sword in Terraria can be retrieved from a shrine much like A Link to the Past. Undoubtedly the Enchanted Sword is a much closer reference to the Master Sword and is a fantastic weapon if you find it early on, as I discovered when going head to head against Python GB and losing. Now the Enchanted Boomerang is often regarded amongst the Terraria community to be a reference to the one used by Link in The Legend of Zelda, and even follows the same design as the Enchanted Sword, which was added much later in the game's cycle. The STEAMPUNKER is one of my favourite NPC designs in Terraria, and that isn't because she was drawn by one of my best friends, it's actually just because she looks awesome. Now one of her potential names is Zelda, but it's also Whitney, the real life name of Senex, who is a huge Zelda fan. Next up is the Power Glove, but I added this into the video to actually clear this one up. Now it is commonly believed that this was added to the game due to Link's Power Gauntlet, but where it actually comes from is an inside joke between me and a few friends. One of the friends actually suggested you should be able to make a Power Glove based on the cheesy adverts for the Nintendo Power Glove, and was then drawn up by one of our friends, Waffles, who had the pleasure of working on Terraria at the time. It made its way into the game some months later and was then later resprited, and unfortunately has no visual connection to the real Nintendo Power Glove. Once again, taking a look at one of the most common items in Terraria, the HERMES boots is a reference to the Pegasus boots from The Legend of Zelda. Now that's something to think about when you're zipping around Terraria running at lightning speed. This one can only be found in the console version of Terraria and is also kind of stretching. The newly updated Tizona sprite looks oddly similar to the one wielded with the Fierce Deity mask found in Majora's Mask. Now last on our list is the Princess outfit. This was added solely for Senex and is one of the most coolest vanity items in the game, and this is a reference to Princess Zelda. So that is every single Zelda reference that can be found within Terraria. Now if you're looking for more cool references, I actually did a top 5 list on some movie references that can be found within Terraria. But if you're looking for more Zelda, why not check out my new Breath of the Wild series on my second channel, Chippy's Couch. Over there you can also find daily Terraria Let's Plays and a few other fun videos, but I'll leave them for you to find yourself. Thank you all for watching, and thank you to the Terraria developers for flooding your game with the things you love. I'll see you all soon. Peace.